Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be providing a market analysis update for Vechain. I'm going to focus on this extremely important range that Vechain has been in for about the last 4 to 5 months. And I'm also going to talk about the support level I'm watching around 2 to 2.1 cents. And I'll also cover some moving averages and the Bitcoin ratio pair as usual. By the way, guys, if you enjoy the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, check out this channel's sponsors over at ftx.us. You can sign up to their exchange in the link in the description below and get a 5% discount on exchange fees. All right, so first I just want to focus on this range that Vechain has been in once again for the past 4 to 5 months. The range low is right around 2.1 cents, that's our support. The range high is around 3.4 cents, that's our resistance. And then the mid range right now is around 2.7 cents, and that is a point of resistance. You can see we rejected off this level back here earlier on in September. And basically just what we've been doing is oscillating from the highs, that's the resistance, down to the lows as our support, sort of bouncing back between these two levels. And what I want to see from Vechain is definitely holding this level as support right around 2.1 cents, because this isn't just an important range on the daily time frame, but it also goes back, if we're looking out here on the bigger picture, to back to 2018, 2019, and 2020. Notice how this range basically has importance back in 2018. That was our all-time high at the time. That was really this from the launch point. That was kind of the rejection that we had before entering this bear market stage. And then you can see those lows again around 2.1 cents held as strong resistance right here in the summer of 2020. We had basically a double top, came down, rejected off of it. And then from there, when we actually got back within this, it was a period of consolidation. You could call this reaccumulation as well before the final blow off top move. So again, this is a very key level that we don't want to see lost, around 2.1 cents as our support. So if we do have another retest of the range lows, look to see if we can have a convincing and strong bounce off of this. And ideally, what we want to see to get bullish is a break above the highs and then flipping that into support. So just as an illustration, a little bit further out from here, what we want to see in terms of a bullish stance is just, again, coming down to this level, holding it as support, bouncing off of it, and then one way or another, we do want to see a break above the mid-range, the highs, and then flipping it into support. And something like this would really start to look like a bottoming pattern. I'm not saying this has to happen, but that's something to watch out for if you're bullish on Vechain, and this would be something that would really start to convince me that we do have an end to the longer term downtrend. Now, if we come back down and we don't hold this as support, and let's say we're actually flipping it into resistance, something like this would be pretty bearish, because again, that would be losing the lows and the support that we've held ever since this initial leg down back here on the May capitulation. And if I zoom out, if something like that were to happen, the next logical level of support that I would watch out to is going to be this high from 2019. So that's going to be right around 1.2 cents. And notice how this was also an area of support, an area of a bounce back in December of 2020 before really kicking off this absolutely incredible run. Now, obviously, the 1.2 cent level is much further down from here, and that would represent, say, a 45-50% correction. That certainly doesn't have to happen, and I'm not calling for that. I'm just saying that, if we start to lose this area on this weekly daily chart, that's the next logical level. And I think this would be the scenario in which Bitcoin itself is, say, dropping below 15K, losing its support, and then forming a low somewhere down there. So that's just an area to watch out for if we do have a continuation of this downtrend, but I'm not suggesting that this has to continue the downtrend. And really what I'm going to be watching out for closely is if we can actually have a bounce off of this and then starting to reverse it, maybe higher highs and higher lows as a structural reversal. So now I want to switch over here to the Vechain Bitcoin chart, which I think is very important. I've been talking about this in a lot of my videos, and what I'm looking at here is a longer term downtrend. We've basically been forming lower highs right along these two trend lines. You can see that pretty consistently in the charts. And what I'm watching out for, again, is going to be looking out for if Vechain can just generally break this and start to outperform Bitcoin, where, whether that happens in a few weeks or a few months, ultimately for me, it doesn't matter. I just want to see Vechain start to outperform Bitcoin, because it really does have a high opportunity cost when it's in these longer term downtrends. And you can see if I just take a measure move from this peak, it is somewhat cherry picked, but consider the fact that Vechain has underperformed Bitcoin by 75%. And I would largely attribute that to the bear market and how altcoins just have that higher volatility to the downside. But when the bull market does return, you don't want to see this underperformance, because if you can get a higher return in Bitcoin itself, then it just has a much higher risk to reward ratio, and that's just something that you would rather have, or at least I would rather have personally, not financial advice. But if I can get a higher return in Bitcoin, I would just rather invest in Bitcoin itself. So one of the things I'm going to be watching out for is if we can actually start to break this longer term downtrend structure And that could look different in a few different ways. Maybe we have some sort of double bottom where we're starting to reverse this. We could have some sort of higher low, or any number of patterns, but really we just want to see this broken start to reverse where VeChain does begin to outperform Bitcoin once again. So I hope you guys did enjoy the content and the analysis. By the way, make sure to check out our sponsors once again in the link in the description below. We're partnered with FTX.us, great cryptocurrency exchange, and if you sign up with the link in the description below or through my referral code SNOWYCRYPTO, you can get a 5% discount on exchange fees. As always, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.